Welcome back to the channel. Super snails and or birds and or frogs or cars or whatever it is it turns out to be in the future. We are going to talk about the new organ rework. I'm going to try to do my best to just focus on that. This isn't going to be my normal type of ranty kind of crazy video. So here we are looking at the new exploration. It's called specimen, and these guys right here, the mutantigens. These are going to be the fuel that drives your organ evolution, basically. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're not interrupted by the blasphemy. The first thing you want to do, actually, is you want to upgrade this guy as far as possible, the Deus Voyage record, if you guys don't have it. The reason being is because winning exploration battles gives you a 3.6% chance to double those specimens that they look like little containers. You get more. We want more. So if you can't get it, here's how you get it: the relic forge, and it costs 120 right here. If you guys don't have any shards, get some, spend them there. I think that would be a really good, like, hey, stop whatever it is you're doing to try to get that. Unless you're trying to work on like your time machine or something like that. If you're a young snail, if you've already maxed out like the particle accelerator or something like that, then you don't, you can just go back to that one or whatever. But if you're working on that, fine, do that, right? But you definitely want to get this guy going. The sooner you get this guy going, you'll have almost a 5% chance of getting double specimens, which would be obviously much better. So let's go into the gene form, and then we go into the evolve. Here is where you will feed or devour the specimens that you just gained from your exploration, right? You click on the devour sample, you devour however many it allows you to do at first. I think at first it makes you do like one, and eventually unlocks the 100. And I believe eventually it'll unlock like 1,000 if you had a lot of speed ups saved up beforehand. I was able to save up 110 days, so I was able to like progress quite a bit. The refrigerator section gave you a lot of power. The Protomon gave you a lot of power. I think the fridge gave me like almost 1 million power. I think the Protomons gave me like about a 3 million power boost. This organ rework gave a lot of people double-digit million power spikes. It fucking is crazy. So how you go ahead and you do this? See, currently I have this one equipped. It says current right here in gray. So I can't touch it. I can't do anything with it. The only thing I can do is choose whether I want the newly obtained, or destroy it. Keep it, destroy it. That's the only options you have. Now this one is telling me that this one's worth 5k more. So let's see why. It's got more HP by a lot. It's got more rush. These are your hard stats right here. It's got lifesteal rate. My current one has lifesteal rate and troop fire resistance. This one is in minion sim. This one doesn't even matter to me really, so I can go ahead and inherit this one. Now, if I wanted to not inherit that one because I didn't like what was in there, like it's gone, right? I could have actually dismantled it, and I could have kept the one that was already still current there. I could have just kept it. For example, if it had leadership. There are some that have that have leadership, okay? And you may not want to get rid of those. So you go ahead and just say dismantle the new one, and you keep your leadership. The reason I'm not worried, the reason I don't have leadership ones right here is because at T6 is when you actually start paying attention to what you have. But I just literally clicked devour sample on and on and on and on, just infinitely. Like as soon as I got to the next one, I would just devour until this got to another level. You can go ahead and not really pay too much attention until you hit past T6. Anything below T5 or T6, T5, T4, T3, T1, whatever, just devour everything you can, because it's you're gonna get better ones as you level up. They get better. The T6 also give you 2 options. That's when they start giving you 2 options, like around T6 level like 4 consistently. That's when they start giving you like 2 options versus like one that'll say snail plus 100 attack damage. Then you'll get one that says snail attack damage plus 100, and then you'll get one that maybe says in simulation whatever, right? So then you get multiple options. Here in this guy right here, you get it at I believe at tier 2, at form tier 2. You can come in here and you can go ahead and pick what you want. I would pick like purple or higher. So this is going to go choose the color for reminder, purple or higher. It will go a little bit higher to choose or whatever. And relationship with other, I just put or. So, or not or, sorry, and, because I want it to be like whatever the other one is, whatever's actually going to land. And here you can actually go ahead and pick what you want, anything you want. If you like fire resistance and percentages, if you like arena crit, if you like healing, etc. But there's also a really powerful option in here, and it's the leadership. So I just go and or, regardless, get your T6, get it up to T6 as soon as possible. Don't worry too much about them. Just hit green until you get to the T6, and then you're good to go. So that is the devouring section in a nutshell. Here we want to go ahead and use the mutate. Here, when we mutate, this is like your gotcha machine section. This is where, like, just picture this as your lotto, but for the organs. So in here, initially you're gonna have really high greens, really high blues, really high purples, 0 and 0 reds. When you level it up by devouring, or not devouring, by using more of the mutates, by actually, rolling, this will actually level up. And as it levels up, these numbers will actually increase, and you're gonna get a fantastic amount of a lot of these. They look like, they drop at a really low and impossible rate, but they land. Like, you're gonna get a pretty decent set if you have a lot of speed up time and a lot of things that are saved up. And remember, you get these little syringes from your exploration. Once you level this up to 6, that's where you get that. And then you can come here and then you can go ahead and upgrade your guys. I'll talk about this here in a second. I just want to show you what it looks like, and I want to show you what's actually important. The most important 3 things to get in this gotcha machine is these 2 right here. So the organ boost serum, that's one of the places where you can get them. I believe you can get them in a chest. This right here, and the orange slime, and the what do you call it? These guys right here, the genetic cores. Those 3 things are the most important things. You can go ahead and flex that you got 10 of these things. It doesn't matter, because if you do not have orange slime, you will be gated. You can't even level those up. Like, after tier 4, you won't be able to level them up any further. And if you want to boost your organs, which is basically an awakening, kind of like your relics, you need organ boost serum. And if you don't have any, flex me that you pulled 10 of these, and then I'll be like, holy crap, that's a great pull. And then this guy right here, same thing with the genetic cores. The cores are what you're going to need to upgrade these guys from 5 to 10. So right here, this is like my 5, and it needs 100. And right now I'm gated by having none of them, by having 50. And how am I going to get more? Well, I need to pull more of them from here. So those 3 resources are the most limited resources that are there. So if we go ahead and hit this, let's see if we get lucky. We got some blue, we got some purple slime, we got some red, golds. They just don't matter. They don't matter as much to me as getting. They're just not come. Oh, there we go. We got some cores. We got some genetic cores. We got 35, which puts us at 90. So we need another 10 to get one of those from 5 to 10. To the tier 5 level, whatever. At least I can get one of these guys going. So, all right, let me just talk about this real quick. These guys right here are your genes. They're called genes, and once you level them up, they stay that way. So you don't have to worry about putting points into these. So that's thank God. Because every time you get one of these points right here, every time you devour a sample and you pick and choose, that it's going to disappear into the background. It's actually coming into this devouring section, and it's replacing one of these genes right here. So if you had, for example, one here that's a leadership, this isn't going to change, but these hard stats are going to change. Now, if you had to choose a priority on which one you would want to level up, the reason I picked this one and I picked this one and I picked this one is because if I level up this one, it's going to give me full hard stats. So if I level it up, it gives me full hard stats. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the 5th actual bonus. or whatever. This guy right here, the reason I didn't pick this one first is because it's HP attack, and it's not giving me defense. It's not giving me rush. It's giving me bend resistance, which I actually don't know what bend means. If anybody knows what bend means, that would be great. I picked these because they give you 4 hard stats. And then I didn't choose these ones because they give me defense and rush. Rush, if you don't have a person or an enemy's rush, which happens more often than not, you don't get this added bonus. So then I don't really ever prioritize rush personally. You can, that's fine. The reason I didn't prioritize HP over the defense one, which is I believe right here, is because defense is consistent, right? This, like, if you lose the HP, it's gone. But if you take a hit, that defense is always going to stay there for the next round. So I always prioritize defense over HP, and then I always prioritize attack damage over defense. So for me, it's always attack, defense, HP, rush. That's how I do it. No one else has to do it that way. I don't care. I'm just letting you guys know my train of thought and why I picked this one, and then why I picked the other ones before that. So let's see. This one's going to give me rush and defense, so I'm not going to level that one up. This one's going to give me HP and rush. I definitely am not going to level that one up first. And then this one gives me the attack damage, so that one gets the buff. So I'm going to ascend it, which is going to put it over to the 90. And just like your relics, when you get them to a plus to the next star, you can still put some juice into them. All right, we're just going to go ahead and put it, and it's going to stop right here. You need cores. You need genetic cores to get these over, and that's how that goes over, and it does it twice. So it's, again, more reason to know why this resource is, like, hella hard to get, like how valuable it is. Flex me that you got 10 of these on a pull, and that's what's up. There'll be also a lot of little treasure chests and stuff like that. Early on, you may think, oh, wow, I got this treasure chest. Let me go ahead and open up. You don't have to open these up. I'll explain to you why you don't have to open them up. They'll automatically will be in your inventory. You can start shooting them up with, like, some juice and maybe get score. Yes. Okay, we got an organ boost serum. That's rare. One piece. That's, yeah. Let's see if we get a orange. That's really, really good. Everything else, it doesn't matter. 35, yes. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. That's what we want. Let's go ahead and click onto our snail. Here is where your organs will live. You still have this machine once you fix it and whatever. This is where you can craft organs. I would suggest you take your time with the craft organ, the taking the shards and stepping them up to the next one, like green to blue, blue to purple, purple to orange, and orange to red. I would suggest you guys take your time on that, because in order to get these to another level, you need to have enough copies of itself, so, or of that species, to level it up. So you just make sure you get to a point where it's like, oh, I got all my golds maxed out, I got all my purples maxed out, I got all my blues, and if you don't have enough copies and stuff like that, like if you maxed out all your greens, then you can go ahead and throw in all your greens to turn them into blues, and then you can start working on your blues and so on and so forth, right? Because right now I have, these are all my greens are basically maxed out, and they're waiting for awake. If you're wondering which ones I've chosen to awaken, the boost is actually extremely rare. You saw me just get one. I picked the ones that cost me very little, because when you boost them, you actually get points into the gene section where you actually go up certain levels, so that you can also increase the level of your origin form. Your original form. It's all interconnected. There's a lot. Okay, so let's just go ahead and just use our mutagen. We'll go ahead and inject it. We got our organs. We place our organs here. All organs may or may not be available, not fully copied or whatever, and that's fine. You want to go ahead and then just put all your modifications. All these modifications are basically, you need to have copies. First of all, you have to have copies of your organ, right? And that's, we already understand that part if you understand the organ section prior. But here you're going to be needing all of these slimes. I wish the button changed color so that you can better tell what this is. But right now it's asking for gold, even though the gold looks like, because it's so damn small, it looks like it could be green, purple, or blue, or whatever. It could be any of them. But because when you hit tier 4 on a modification, it's always going to ask from then on for the gold. What I learned to do is, yes, you get the red ones, and the red ones are really cool, and you're like, holy crap, I got these red ones. I want to go ahead and and get as strong as possible. Let me go ahead and take a shortcut. Let me go ahead and forget all this crap. And I got red ones. I got red ones. I got red ones. They're going to take so much of your gold slime that what I would recommend you guys do is just level them all up from the bottom all the way up to the top. Because what's going to happen is, at least if you can get the at least the gold ones maxed out, and by maxed out I mean just to the point where it says level max and they're awaiting awakening. If you can do that, you will have a very, very strong set versus a maxed out set or a not maxed out set and a set that's awaiting a gated resource like the orange slime. If I go ahead and up and modify this is asking me for 51 of these orange ones, right? And that's just for one level. Let's just say the next one asks for 52 or 53 or 50, and that's for like the whole amount. It's asking for all of them. So if I put all this, I'm gonna lose 51. I don't want to do that yet because I would rather max out these guys right here first, because they all at T4 they're also going to be asking for that resource. If I were to, let's say, look at this one, just looking at it, what it's requiring, it's requiring 60, which is a fucking lot. It's a lot. This guy's eventually going to be gated by it's going to tell you eventually there's going to be a little chat bubble here. You're going to click it, and when you click the chat bubble, it's going to take you to a spot where it's going to be like, hey, you need to go up to floor like 1000 to get your T7 form going. And I'll tell you right now, it sucks being at T6 level 5 and you can't reach that level. If you're in this form, which is your appearance form, which is the fighter form, right? These are your fighter avatar basically. So my guy right now, my snail, looks like this, and he will have the buffs of these gold ones for the most part, because those are the highest level ones I have, because I have them maxed out, so they're better than the red ones a little bit, by a little bit. The computer knows. So if you're in this tab, everything that you come in here and you craft will be crafted towards this section. This is your inner, like your inner snail section or bird or whatever, right? This is your inner characters, you know, abilities, right? Points and stuff. So these are going to be an exploration black tadpole. So you're going to want to go ahead and maybe put 5 points into that one. The 5 points, I mean 5 boosts. If I wanted to come in here and I wanted to increase more of my organs and boost up some of the draws and stuff, I can come in here and level these up. What I was talking about for the levels for this guy right here, for to hit T7, what you're going to find out is when you go into the exploration, it's going to ask you to go into Yamato and Korea or Yamato, one of the two, both of them, Korea and Kathy, I believe it is. And it's going to ask you to go there, and it's going to, you know, push you, and it's going to give you some genetic fighting thingies. What are these called? Genetic samples. And these samples right here, this one right here specifically, this one mainly, will eventually ask you to go up to floor 1000. And the way you reach the next floor is by actually leveling up your organs. Right now we're at 100%. So in order for me to get more floors, I actually need to upgrade more organs. So let's find an organ that I prefer. We have a dragon one because I currently work in my dragon form. So, and with this account, I'm currently farming in my dragon form. That sucks. Okay, so when in dragon form, gain 2% dragon chest. So like this one's a really, really good one to increase, because it'll increase it'll basically pair really well with your dragon form if you are exploring in your dragon form. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it, because for the most part I do explore in this account with my dragon form. I will go ahead and use those 10 points. I will not lose sleep about it, because ultimately I am going to be gaining. Now if I go back, this went from 100 to now a couple more floors. So when you awaken in a relic, it will give you the option to go up a couple more floors. You want to hit 1000. I think 1000 is like the minimum requirement to boost over to go past T7. You don't have to do this immediately when you hit that wall, sure, but this is how you level them up, or you awaken them, and then they'll give you a couple extra floors. And then they'll also even give you some sequences for the for these guys for the organ section. The thing I didn't like about the organ chest is that it didn't get an upgrade. It really needed an upgrade. Like when you come here and you look at, for example, I don't know, the soul one or whatever. It can give you souls, and it can give you actual like relics that may be like related to the souls. Here, for some reason, the organ just gives you organs, and it doesn't give you like slime. It doesn't give you the cores, and it doesn't give you the mutagen or mutant. That would be awesome if it gave you that, if that was an option at the very top here, because then this box would be just freaking amazing. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So when it comes to the chest, I feel like that kind of didn't get upgraded. But yeah, so for the most part, you get them from your exploration. The mutagens, you get your species samples, you get them from your exploration. So exploration is really valuable. If you go to the arena and you're wondering, oh, how the arena sucks and all this other stuff, I'm like, it kind of does, but you know, we haven't gotten to the point where we can see its true value yet. So if what I have noticed is that you want to go and attack on a daily basis. You want to go ahead and send in and use up all of your controllers all day every day. You want to go ahead and use up whatever you purchase. You for sure want to purchase the mutagen. Actually, you want to put this in your batch system. You want to get the controllers. It's going to give you a couple more controllers. You want to use them. You want to get your slime, your green slime, because eventually you're going to have enough slime, enough green slime to then tier it up to the blue, and then enough to the blue to the purple, and then orange, right? And you want to get your glue cells if you're early on and you need them. Sure, these treasure chest thingies, I don't recommend anybody get them. I don't think there's any true value in here. I mean, these right here, you kind of get them like hotcakes in the gacha system, so this is not a high priority for me. The bicep, I also, unless you're looking for it, unless you haven't maxed it out and you really want it, sure, but I believe you'll get plenty of copies in the gacha machine, so it's gonna be fine. And even if they don't drop in the gacha machine, just get them slowly. It's not a big deal, because you're not getting many punch rewards anymore as you used to in the old system. So anyone who's playing the game starting today and moving forward, they're not even gonna know that that was a thing that we used to get on a weekly basis, like, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 punch points, or yeah, and then we just go ahead and buy like almost completely buy out the store on day one. This section right here, I'm not even sure what it is yet, but if I were to put any value, any value when we start getting this season points, which hopefully at the end of the month they drop more than like 100. Hopefully they'll drop like 10,000 or something like that. I want to get this Demon King Organ Choice Pack. That's what I would want, because this is like the Dragon Ball Piccolo skin for your Snail. If you get all the pieces and stuff and you start leveling up, but that's a long time from now. This is an insane, like, just so far away, whatever, because it takes like a month to get all this stuff anyway. At least that's what it's saying if it's a seasonal pack, and the season ends. Holy crap, that's a long time. That's a lot of hours. This is a month. This is a month. You're not getting this anytime soon. But if you were going to go ahead and get anything, I would get the ticket, the pickaxe, the mutation, the slime, if you can afford it, the glue, if you can afford it, and the gene speed up, and the game controller. Nothing else here matters. If you can't afford all these other ones, at least get these two priority ones, and then probably this one's even priority as well, because then you'll get more punch points after you fight. And if you lose, it doesn't matter, because you're still getting points. You're still getting points. Like, watch, I'll just go ahead and fight, I don't know, Cap. Cap is really strong. This is my alternate account. I'm not going to be able to beat him. I don't care. I'm still going to use my point. I'm still going to get 5 punch points, and then I'm going to get 7 of these pass points, which increase my overall value, which is right here, 1136. So I want that number to go up so that I can qualify on Thursday. If you don't fight, I believe you're going to continue staying in the warm-up phase, because it says right here, 3 form groups, group stage, which is like when you first start and you only fight participants until you start going against actual real people that are actually either going to beat you or not beat you, and that's where you're at peak warm-up, and then it's going to go to peak tournament, and I believe that's going to be on Thursday, and then after that it's going to be group stage ranks, trainee fighter, rookie, whatever fighter, and then it's going to eventually go into the belts. It depends on, I guess, how strong you are, but that's TBD, because I haven't seen it play out yet. This is still the first week. We'll know by Friday. But yeah, go ahead and just use them. Before you would you would hold your controllers. We would have like 500-600. It doesn't pay to do that because if you don't fight, you'll where's that line? Defeating fewer than 3 opponents will result in demoting after settlement. So this is what happens if you don't fight. If you just don't use them. Defeating fewer 3 opponents means you're not using your controllers. Defeating 3 or 4 opponents will maintain current rank after settlement, and then defeating 5 or 6 opponents will result in promotion after settlement. Defeating all opponents grants immediate promotion, so my main account is immediately going to promote, because right now it's number 1 for some reason, because the organs and I had just more speed ups. Rank settlement occurs daily at 2200, and then after promotion from Rookie Fighter 1, players enter the warm-up matches, which we are... I guess that's where we are right now, because this says peak warm-up, but that did not say peak warm-up, so the rules to me on this section are still a little weird. Defeat all opponents, blah, blah, blah. Rank settlement occurs after promotion from Rookie Fighter 1, players enter warm-up matches. It didn't say... peak warm-up, so that's it may be talking about that one, and I just don't know because it doesn't say the peak, which is the part that confuses me, because I'm like, hey, be specific. So there's zero confusion. If the season hasn't ended after settlement at Thursday 2200, which is tomorrow, players may enter peak tournament. When tomorrow arrives or when Friday arrives, I'll have more information, but for now that's it's still technically related to the organ section because of your points, your punch points right here. So you want to climb, you want to use your points, you want to fight, you want to get as far up as you can so you can maybe score some of these. Now, like if you're looking at these are pretty good. Nothing wrong with these. Let's see. But would I spend it on these? I don't know. If I'm really close to, let's say, maxing this out, because I've been getting a lot of RNG. And I just know that like the cost of this 2,000 over 2,500 is just, if we only end up with 2,000 per month at your level, wherever you end up being or whatever, then I don't know how you would feel about waiting for the next month to end to then just scoop up one piece of this, where you could maybe just get one of these every month, and then maybe eventually level this up faster and become stronger faster, versus waiting almost 2 months to get one and then another 2 months to get another piece. Or 3 months to get 2 pieces, and it's just like, ugh, that's brutal. It costing 500, that's removing the 5th month to just fuel those 4 months, and it's brutal. So that's a personal thing if you really want that. Now if you're in a very, very high tops, I don't know how many these golden punch points, I'm just assuming, but if you get like, I don't know, if you're getting like 10,000, that's a huge number that I'm throwing out there because I don't know, then yeah, you just go in there and get 2 of those, 5 of those, whatever, however many, 4 of those. So you, whatever the numbers, you go in there and you get them. But you still want to go ahead and spend your punch points. You still want to do that. You still want to come in here and you want to use those up, and there's no reason for you to like there's no reason for you to ignore this section. There just isn't, because you'll lose out. You will lose out if you do that. I covered keeping the old gene versus replacing the new gene and leveling them up. I covered how you get them when the gotcha machine with the mutation. You put it in there and you just level this guy up, and then once you start getting these guys right here, it'll light up. But just remember that the real important resources are these 2 and this one right here, this 3rd one right here. Those are the 3 most important resources there. When you're leveling up your golds and your reds, if you don't have a lot of orange slime, stop at T4. T4 is where it starts to ask for gold and on. Now, getting to T4 will ask you for like 50 or 60 or 70 orange slime. So if you have like 1,000, you know you can almost do a full set of 9. 2, 4, 6, 7. Sorry. So these. So if you have like, if you need to get, a gold, if you have 7 golds ready to go to T4, it'll cost, if it costs you 70 and you only have 1,000, then you can get at least all 7 of those, gold levels to the tier 4 section. And then after that, you kind of just sit around and just be gated by the orange slime and stuff like that. So once you get those going, you're good to go. And then again, if you go ahead and you craft, you will lose out on having greens to awaken. But it's okay because you'll get a lot of greens. It's okay. You'll get greens and stuff like that. Um, or you can upgrade them real quick, like really early on. Upgrade all of them real quick on, so you don't have to worry about it. It is technically just 5 of this boost serum, this Oregon boost serum, and it might not be that crazy for you guys to actually go green first and then go blue and then go purple. Like work our way down or work our way up from the foundation, from the very, very bottom, just like you would starting over with your relics. Because if you remember, for us old heads that are basically had only one form, which was snails, we all had to start from the bottom, and we all started upgrading our greens. Well, we never had to awaken our greens, but our blue relics had to then be upgraded, and we were like, oh, we don't have enough resources, and then eventually we did, and then we blossomed when we moved up forward. So that is an angle. But I know a lot of you probably want power now, and you're like, oh, which one's better, and which one? Just look at them, click here, and be like, oh, I'm having a problem in main species against my main species, which is, snail versus snail or bird versus bird, whatever. Like, this is kind of an arena specific organ. But if you go against a bird or something, because I believe we're going to be going against cross, what do you call it? In the belts, I believe we're going to be going against like all types of really, really, really powerful players. So you guys might fight me one day, or I might fight you one day. If you're a whale or if you're like really out there, we might just butt heads at one point, and you might just spank me, and that's fine. But you might be a bird, and I might be a snail, and this doesn't work. This doesn't do anything for us. So it's like, all right, well, let's pick one that's more consistent, right? So against main species, again, damage, who cares? Water damage, now we're talking, because this, you multiply this by 7, now you're talking about 1,400 and change, 1,500 and change, maybe even more, 19, something like that. So you're talking about a lot of damage that's going to come in here. And then with the added crits that you get from your organs actually give you buffs when you come here. Some of these will actually give you elemental crits chances. And that's that rainbow strike. When you see a rainbow number on your screen when you're doing your autos, every time they hit each other, that's your elemental crit. Your purple is going from purple to rainbow, and it's freaking awesome. I love seeing that, because it's like, yeah, I just fucking hit you with like all of my freaking elemental power, all of my damage, So it's anyway. So that's all of this in a nutshell. It seems like a lot, but it's actually not once you start playing with it a little bit. This is the section where you can actually tweak a lot of your power. You can set it up so that you can always inherit the ones that are going to be for like crit. Like we can go ahead, if you're at 100% crit, you can just say fuck. Every time you see something that says crit dam or crit rate, you can ignore that one. You can be like, well, I'm already at 100%. I don't need that. But I don't have snail elemental rate. So let's go ahead and try to get all of these to give me elemental crit, so that you can hit with your regular crit, your elemental crit, and then your other abilities that come from the regular outline, those 7 little organs that do special things out in front of you and stuff like that. So like, you can have all this stuff built into it. So I hope that helped. I really did, because it seems overwhelming at first, but it's pretty simple once you get your hands on it. Again, level this guy up by just feeding it. The more you feed it, and so on and so forth, good to go. Also, if the what do you call it? The XP. If you get gated and you get stuck on a level and you can't, like, you just keep feeding it because you're waiting to. You don't have enough materials to go to like the T to get to T6 to T7. That's another important thing, right? You will always, let's just say it takes you 2-3 weeks after, and you can't do anything because you just don't have enough boost serum, right? To get a couple more floors, or you don't have enough copies of the specific organ to upgrade so that you can get a couple more floors to get to that 1,000. This is going to continue accruing XP at T6 5. T6 level 5. I think it's level 5. And then it just keeps going. It just keeps waiting. It's just like, oh, it keeps building up all this XP, and then when you finally cross over to T7, all that XP gets used, and it's fine. You don't lose it. You're good to go. So just keep going. The problem is if you have enough to go to T7 or T5 to T6, and you keep spinning, you keep devouring at that current T5 level, that's a huge mistake because you want to level up. So you have to stop doing whatever it is you're doing. Just let it play out. Don't devour again. Level up your snail or your bird or whatever, and then let those points go into it, sink into it, and then you're going to start receiving T6 tier organs, so that you can go ahead and or genes, right? Because these are called genes, and then they'll actually become better. So you'll be getting better stuff. You don't want to get stuck on T5 thinking, oh, it's just going to automatically upgrade. It doesn't This one does not automatically upgrade, where this guy automatically upgrades. You can just send that one, and this one constantly upgrades and maxes out at T6 or level 6, and then that's fine. So that is that. I think I'm good. Also, it looks like we may get 3 total, maybe, from what I'm seeing here, right? It looks like we might be getting some different types of mutagens maybe in the future, so that'll be cool. But that's what I have. I hope this helps. I hope you guys understood and I'll see you guys, hopefully, maybe not, whatever, on the next one. Peace.